Hello everyone, this is Ivanka with Interview Global, and we continue on this episode to discuss what are the best steps to work on towards your job search, secure interviews, go through your interview process, as well as successfully land one or multiple job offers within reasonable timing. If you're first time on my channel, I've been working in the recruiting field for over 20 years, from those 19 in the United States. I did supported multiple teams as well as built multiple teams from scratch, working for such companies as Amazon, Apple, and Adobe. I also have a great spectrum of understanding how to hire for FANG or Mink companies if you're interested in those. And also supported multiple initiatives with recruiting, contracting, and consulting companies in the past as well. So if you didn't watch my first episode about four first tips, please go back and watch the first episode about that. And we're gonna continue on the tip 5 today. And tip 5 would be your flexibility. Your flexibility in a job search can give you a lot of options, and if you was not flexible enough, this is the right time to start learning, to start encouraging yourself and engaging with the recruiters to really explore a larger pool of opportunities in order to be successful at the end. And your flexibility might be the following. If you was looking primarily in your location and market at your city, and you never applied, you didn't apply for another cities, if it's an option for you, if you want to decide what potentially other states you might be interested, or if it's not just you, but you also family members to decide, this is the right opportunity for you to discuss it with your family. Pick at least 3 to 5 states. This is a good amount of options that you would have. Also pick not only expensive cities, but also less expensive, or vice versa, right? So diverse your search with variety of opportunities and obviously companies that each city represents. And take into account both options. Take into account if you and for the family people, if you and your family would relocate there permanently. And have those discussions definitely early in the process, which would be more successful at the end for you, for both, for your life, for your work, for the balance between both. And also discuss option if it's a not permanent but a temporary relocation. Maybe even it would be just you relocating for 3 to 6 months, for example, contract. I know some of the people never discuss those options, or kind of hesitant to discuss those options, or still kind of hesitant to take that approach. They stubborn and they looking only in their cities. But again, if you really would like to gain that financial and mental stability again, maybe it's a right opportunity for you to start kind of considering, right, another location for yourself in the United States. In many occasions on the job posting, you will see the ranges. And this is a good indicator to understand better what potentially you might be offered. And if you would like more information about salary negotiation, about specific job markets, how to compare them, please contact me. I will be ready and I will be open to discuss this with you for a free 30-minute consultation that I provide with Interview Global. So another type of flexibility might be your willingness and your openness to consider alternative titles and positions. In some cases, it means that you might be open and you're willing to step down and maybe take a little bit less experienced role, or slightly different role that you would normally be interviewing and looking for. But also we talking about if you considering contract vice full-time. Obviously, full-time provides so much more, right? It's full-time as a compensation that you negotiate per year. You also know for sure that this is the stack of specific benefits that company gonna offer, insurance plans. It might be also related to some other kind of good tips and additional, right, components that each company would add. Some of them might be giving you additional stocks and options. Some of them will give you annual bonuses or performance bonuses or mixture of both, right? So there is a variety of those. But if you never tried a contract, I would highly recommend you to consider it very strongly. If you even applying for the role with a company that you never heard, many often that company might be just a middleman, and they can tell you in the process when they're comfortable who is a client. And in my cases, I ended up applying for the roles where I didn't know who is a client, but I was very opportunistic. Both time it led amazing opportunities. One was with Amazon, another was with Apple. And I can say from my experience that even on a contract, when you're working for the large corporations, right, you will be assured that you're given the same amount of trust to do interesting, very impactful project. You can represent the same way as somebody who's working on a full-time. Very important topics. You can influence the same way. You will be working together with multiple stakeholders, very often with cross-functional teams. Very often you will be in touch and directly working with directors and even VP level if it's such a large companies. And obviously if it's smaller, if it's startups, it's even more realistic. So if you're hesitant, if you have any questions about contract wise and full-time, also, I invite you to contact Interview Global for more information. I'm willing to provide it through a free consultation, or you can find a lot of calculators, right, online when you put, for example, contract wise a full-time calculator per state. They can give you kind of approximate description, and they can divide and show you how much would you need to be on the same page, to be living the same, for example, lifestyle, if it's a contract vice a full-time. It's also, from my experience, amazing, great new experience that I would recommend everyone to try at some point. And again, if you're not sure it's your ideal job, if you're not sure it's your ideal opportunity, treat the contract opportunity as a milestone. And maybe you don't see it now, but later you will see that those 6 months with specific company or 9 months with specific company led actually to amazing next opportunity, because during the time I learned new tools, I learned new markets, new industry, I met so many new people, I got great references for my future, right? I participated in completely new projects, conferences, meetups, events, and so much more. So taking into account based on where you're at right now at your career path and at your job search. All right. So another flexibility would be definitely your compensation. In those days, it's totally, for majority of job categories, it's a company market in 2024. I would say only the market that's still ran by candidates is definitely machine learning and AI, which is very competitive field. So this is where they actually, right, decides which company they would like to join, and they very great in negotiating great kind of rates. But in other industries, it's still very much about company and about kind of large pool of people they have in order to make the final decision. So be more flexible than ever. Do not kind of be stubborn, right? If you need to take a little bit of a pay cut, it's still a great option, because again, from my experience, when I'm talking to some of the candidates, I can see the difference. I can see someone who is working and looking for the next opportunity and their level of confidence. And I can see for people who are actually very desperate because they've been out of market for a while, right? So very often you want to take that next career opportunity, which again gives you that financial stability, peace of mind, give you great experience. And during that time, if you feel like, okay, I want to continue, keep looking for even better, continue. The only difference will be that you will have much more experience. You will know better worth of yourself as a professional. And you just have that buffer, right? You have that safety pillow for you while you're looking for your next better opportunity. So this is about flexibility. So what next? It's important. The next number 6 tip would be your motivation and curiosity. From my research and my conversations with multiple managers this year and previous year, when I was working and kind of hiring for multiple teams, right? I actually noticed that a lot of feedback on candidates who've been rejected was very similar. And it was quite surprising for me to hear that the reason was that somebody wasn't motivated enough and engaging enough and curious enough to proceed with the process, right? So make sure that even if you have in mind some your favorite company on the list and you're talking to 5 another, you still engage, you're still motivated, you still show your curiosity, interest in every single company as much as you go through the process.